Okay, I'm talking to Jason Maxwell with 8th Summit. Jason, welcome to Origins.
Thank you.
I'm the official welcoming committee, if you didn't know. But I see you've got 2 games here, Agents of Smersh, which I believe has been out for a while, hasn't it?
It's been out since we shipped back in December.
Okay.
And it was on the retail market since about January.
And also Ace Detective. Can you tell me about both of them?
Well, Ace Detective is a game by Richard Lanius.
I love this
designer of Arkham Horror.
That's right.
And it's a storytelling game where the players tell the story. And we licensed Black Mask artwork from their old magazines back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Really?
Where you create this noir detective scenario. Everybody works together to create the story, although there is one winner in the game. And it comes with about 16 of these little mysteries. It's read aloud. It kind of sets the setting. And there are suspects that you put in play here. And you also choose a protagonist, like a private detective in this case. We have several others here somewhere. But what you do is players will play cards and they'll vocally tell a story. Like, I woke up this morning and had a bad feeling when this woman walked in panicking about her husband being murdered. You tell your story, you'll collect plot points which let you purchase more cards, and then the next player will continue that story from there. And as you play, these clue tokens that have numbers on them will come out on suspects. And at the end of the game, you're going to flip these up to see who is guilty. And whoever has the highest total, now there are negatives in there too, so it's kind of tricky. Total is the guilty person. Then you flip these over like this. The person's color who has the most on there is the winner. What he gets to do is cap off the story, tell the rest of the story, what happens at the end.
How long does it take to play?
It takes about, well, it depends on your group. If you have a group who are used to telling stories and enjoy role-playing games, they can fly through this. And it is a bunch of fun. But if you have a group that's not used to that, it can take an hour and a half. But generally, I would say 1 to 2 hours. You can become as elaborate as you want to with the stories. When clue tokens come out here, reach a certain point, like in a 3-player game, once you get 15 clue tokens, the game comes to an end. And you play one final round before you tally up these here.
Now, is Ace Detective available now?
It is going to be out retail the end of this week or next week, but I have copies of it here, yes.
Excellent.
I don't even know where
That looks pretty cool. I'm going to have to give it a try. Now, what about Agents?
It's my game. I designed this. It took me about 1.5 years of writing to write this book. I wanted to do something that was similar to Tales of Arabian Nights, but had more of a game. You know, there's dice rolling in this game. There is a villain that everybody is playing against. You all play UN Secret Service agents, and there are henchmen that you encounter. And the way this is played is intel is going to come out on the board. The players are going to travel around having encounters where you flip encounter cards, like you do in South America, and an encounter involving an abduction. Say, for instance, that player would choose a reaction from a matrix here. And you would look at these numbers to help get to this. It will direct you to, there's a randomizer too, so it's not going to be the same thing every time.
Right, so it changes.
Somebody's going to read to that player their encounter. Most of these are kind of humorous. Not most of them, but a lot of them. And they all have that typical spy 1970s James Bond type atmosphere to it. You're tied to a chair, you're speeding down the street in a car, and you will be directed to test your attributes here. You have 5 basic skills. From that test, you will draw dice blindly from the back to see if you pass or fail. And these all have different ratios of success and failure. Nice, huge dice here. And you'll roll it. And guns, if you roll 1 gun, it's a success. If you don't roll a gun, you might have a chance to re-roll it by spending resolve. But otherwise, you will fail and he will advance. His villain card there's an advancement side on each one of these, and there's like a little story, like he dried up the Great Lakes, or he's building a space station, and that will kind of build as it goes along what the things that Dr. Lobo are up to. If this reaches 9, everybody loses. The way you win is defeat these guys. When these location tokens come out, you would defeat them 3 to 5 times, depending on the number of players. The game immediately ends when you reach the desired number. You will come over here and say he's advanced to here on the track. Well, what you need to defeat him to win would be 2 weapons, a tech, and a double agent token. So you would flip these up to see if you win. And sometimes these are flipped up, but most of the time you're kind of going in blindly. So you want to try to get as much intel into the pool as possible.
Oh, gotcha.
So that is Agents of Smurf.
So how long does that take to play?
This one takes about an hour and a half. It can take, if you go up to 4 players or even 5, it could take 2 hours. This one has been nominated Best Publisher, the Dice Tower this year, which we're really happy about.
That's cool.
I don't think it's going to win, but I'm thrilled it got nominated.
It's an honor just to be nominated.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is what we're doing. We're trying to produce theme-rich games, and we have some other things planned. Actually, from Richard, we're going to do this zombie game right here, which
Ooh, a zombie game.
We've been running this game for the
Run, Fight, or Die. I have heard of that.
past couple of years, and people love it. So we're doing miniatures. We're going all out on that one.
Really?
You
Nice.
should be hearing more about that one later in the year. We're working on a Cthulhu storytelling game as well.
Really?
Me and Rich together. I have a game by Wolfgang Kramer. It's at the printer, you know. It's a reprint and retheming of an old game of his from the 80s called Expedition.
Expedition?
It's
I don't remember.
arrows.
I was around in the 80s, but I don't remember.
Well, it was a very successful game for him in Europe. It sold like 300,000 copies of it.
Wow.
You know, we're just printing a couple thousand, but
Right.
start. It would be nice, but it hasn't gotten a whole lot of many releases here. It was released in English back in the 90s once, and about 5 or 6 years ago there was a small print. But I thought it was a great game. It's a very fun game, so I wanted to reprint it. We rethemed it. We put a new theme on it.
Yeah.
Redrew the board, and it's that top game on the big banner there.
I'll swing around here. Oh, I see.
This is Wolfgang's. So we got a lot of things to plan.
Oh, it sure sounds like it.
Hopefully in the next couple of years we'll have a much bigger boat.
Well, Jason, thank you for talking to me.
Thanks a lot.